Good day, everyone. North American Hammer here, and I just want to continue my videos. I just started this week, and I wanted to throw my hat into the Fandom Menace ring. Like most of us, I'm guessing, the Fandom Menace was something that we kind of stumbled upon during the desolation of Star Wars. I believe it was The Last Jedi that really just blew it up. Created such a vacuum of air of frustration that it just unified many people across many genres and lifestyles and beliefs and creativities. And so what has happened is it's created a community, a meeting ground, a place where everyone was like, huh, you too? Me too. I just met him yesterday and her yesterday. Yeah. So I think what's happening is that the frustration is really comes down to individual creative people and individual fans and appreciative people of story and myth. And what's happening now is that all of our modern myths, and that's what these are all our modern gods, our modern heroes, our modern storylines. They're being gobbled up by just a few different corporations. So now our myths are no longer stories for us. It's a bankroll for Hollywood, city-born, first world Hollywood cunts. And I think from there, you also, all of this is happening at the same time. It's a spider web of the same type of ideology has spread from Comicsgate and then into the movie in Hollywood and our TV shows, and then in the comic book arena. But uniquely, the cool thing about Comicsgate is Comicsgate has allowed, because of its high production to create comic books, but nowhere near the production it takes to create a video game or a movie. So, just like many video games and movies were built up over time from the stories of novels, of comic books, and things like that, the independent creator has now way more access and group networking that it can create these again. However, the problem with Comicsgate is, and it's actually a boon, it's a long-term boon, but it's a trouble in the beginning. And the trouble is because these corporations have gobbled up all of our myths, that the copyrights won't let you, I want to write my own Wolverine story. You can't, not if you're going to make any money off of it at least. And it's expensive. If you listen to EVS and Ya Boi Zack and a few of the other people that I've been following on the Comicsgate group. I've funded a few. Just funded Earthworm Jim and a few others. But the cool thing is that because we are forced to create our own characters as opposed to leaning on the creations of the past. Like, I would love to write a Wolverine comic book or Spawn, something of that nature. Thor, all your Norse mythology is in the public domain. So if you don't like Lady Thor, you can definitely make your own mythology around the Norse mythologies, which I currently am doing. I'm currently making a story that I'll talk about some other time. But it is because we are forced into creating these new characters. It is the first time in 60, 70 years where the spirit of the creative energy is back into the hands of the small time creators. So you're not hindered by the rules of DC or Marvel, and don't even call it Marvel anymore. It's Disney. So Disney's rules, DC's rules. So this is going to spur a whole new world of future mythos. And the number one that I want to point at is EVS's ComicPro Secrets, I believe is the full title of his channel. But he's created or re-brought back to life Cyberfrog. And the reason why Cyberfrog is so important, is due to the fact that he is creating his own character, his own world, and his own mythos around those characters, which now new people are going to get into and as a breath of fresh air fall into. And then because EVS is such a selfless promoter of other of other creators, and we're really starting to get these grassroots efforts jacked up into the atmosphere, the future is going to be a whole new set, a whole new landscape. Maybe 10, 20 years from now, there'll be a library of all new characters. So it won't be people recreating Spider-Man over again, recreating Spawn, recreating Wolverine, recreating all these. No, now it's going to be Cyberfrog as its own thing. And then from there, hopefully we'll see more. You've got Jawbreakers out there, and yeah, so it's actually going to be one of the strongest things to come across. And here's the cool thing again. So this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, was the new characters that are being created in Comicsgate will then be the future of the video games, of the TVs, of the movies. So you'll have maybe a Cyberfrog video game now, and then a Cyberfrog TV show, or whatever it may be. An animated series would be really cool. But and a perfect example of this is Spawn. Spawn came out with Todd McFarlane breaking off and not doing his Spider-Man, not doing his other thing. He created Spawn, and then from Spawn you had a video games, then you had the HBO animated series, which was brilliant, and the movie, which tried and faltered, but I mean, it made it to a movie and a video game. And these things can and do happen. So when you see the success of Todd McFarlane breaking off from the mainstream, creating his own character, and watching it filter through the atmosphere, that is what EVS is doing. That's what Comicsgate is doing. And me as a artist, so I mean, I'm a lifetime artist. I'm working on one for a Taekwondo studio now, and there's some of my old airbrush paintings, and I've been into writing and a comic book fan my whole life, and super nerd, anything AI. I'm a Terminator, Matrix, all that type of fan, Ex Machina. So what I want to start doing is showing how there's this really awesome opportunity for the future, and you should. I mean, obviously, we all want to be able to create our old favorite heroes, but run from that. Run into your own ideas, run into your own characters, and do that, because it will pay off in the long run. Because now, no one can compare your Wolverine to the old Wolverine or this or that. They're creating they're following your character as you created it, and then from there it can branch and grow. So right now, when it comes to the Fandom Menace to me is the commentary. That's the group of people coming together and be like, no, we see what you're doing, and you're not doing it very well. They did it better in the past. You want awesome female characters? Sorry, the 80s did it better. The 90s did it better. And you know what? We loved those characters, and it wasn't distracting, and it didn't make us wince, because we could see that some first world city slicker is writing their own thing. And it's like, how are you writing these stories of a Midwesterner and you've never stepped foot on a farm, you wanker? So I'm very excited for the future, and I want my commentary and my artwork and my story to be a part of it. And I know I got no subs. So yeah, if you like this, please sub and like. I hope that I can slowly build my voice into the conversation as a positive, creative, like glue. I would like to be one that kind of fills in gaps where other people don't. So here's to the future, to future gods and goddesses and heroes and villains and human characters and all the interactions of the people that come with it. And yeah, that's going to be my movie or my video for today. And again, please like and subscribe and share it out. I would love to eventually be in the conversation and talk to Gary at Nerdrotic and Doomcock and all those guys, because they're right up my alley. It's like those are all the conversations that I want to be having. But when I go out into the real world, everyone's looking at me like, okay, freak. you've been talking about goddamn Star Wars for 30 minutes. But you guys love it, and I love it, and that's how I found everybody from The Last Jedi and Mauler and Red Letter Media, and even Left Foot. I think it's Left Foot Media in Australia. That guy is really brilliant, and Doomcock and all of those. But EVS is the cornerstone and the roots in which this is going to expand. So I hope to be a part of it someday, and have a good day, you cunts.